Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Offstage Mic. We are back to this success series we've been bringing to you this season. It is all about arts management professionals at all different points in their careers who at some point were challenged or blocked or hitting a wall in some way, and how they each found a way to break through that and overcome those challenges. They are all arts administrators I've had the pleasure of working with in my Uplevel coaching program, and they have been so generous to come on here and share their stories with you. Today, we are talking about the thing probably all of us want more of, and that is confidence. Raise your hand wherever you're at if you've ever wanted more confidence, right? Or at some point have felt like you wished you had more of it. I'm raising my hand too, for sure. We have all had those moments. And all I can think of right now is that Demi Lovato song, but I'm not mad about it. Anyways, I've got a great free resource for you that you'll hear about at the end. But for now, let's dive in to all things confidence. I'm Aubrey Bergauer, and welcome to my podcast. I'm known in the arts world for being customer-centric, data-obsessed, and for growing revenue. The arts are my vehicle to make the change I want to see in this world, like creating places of belonging, pursuing gender and racial equality, developing high-performing teams and leaders, and leveraging technology to elevate our work. I've been called the Steve Jobs of classical music and the Sheryl Sandberg of the symphony. I've held offstage roles managing millions of dollars in revenue at major institutions, been chief executive of an orchestra where we doubled the size of the audience and nearly quadrupled the donor base. And now I'm here to help you achieve that same kind of success. In this podcast, we are sorting through data and research inside and outside the arts, applying those findings to our work in arts management, and bringing in some extra voices along the way, all to build the vibrant future we know is possible for our institutions and for ourselves as offstage administrators and leaders. You're listening to the Offstage Mic. Hi everyone, Aubrey Bergauer here. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you about Annual Fund Toolkit. If you're a nonprofit looking to revolutionize your fundraising strategies, you need to know about Annual Fund Toolkit. They're not just another consulting firm. They're specialists in transforming annual funds through data-driven donor engagement. What sets Annual Fund Toolkit apart is their laser focus on two critical challenges: improving donor retention and growing the major gifts pipeline. You can see why I like them, right? They combine fundraising expertise, data analysis, and strategic planning to help nonprofits like yours reach your goals. I'm particularly excited about their work in the arts sector. They have helped organizations like Austin Chamber Music Center and Castle of Our Skins unlock their fundraising potential. And get this, you get one dedicated strategist to help with all aspects of running your fundraising shop, from data to major gift coaching. It's like having an entire fundraising department that intimately understands you and the arts. Annual Fund Toolkit provides a clear roadmap to donor loyalty, automated dashboards to track your progress, and a catalog of proven playbooks. I know their founder, Luis Diaz, personally, and I think he is hands down one of the most brilliant minds in fundraising I've ever met. Whereas many arts groups are stuck with old models that aren't working anymore, the organizations that utilize Luis's advice and assistance are coming out ahead. If you are ready to take your fundraising to the next level, visit annualfundtoolkit.com. That's www.annualfundtoolkit.com. Trust me, your donors and your mission will thank you. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Okay, I am joined once again by my co-host for this success series, Jeremy Cuevas. Jeremy, you were just crushing these interviews, okay? So I just have to say that. But tell me, who did you talk to this week?
Oh, thank you. So this week's interview is with Jo Griffin, and Jo is currently a recruitment specialist at the Banff Center, but she was almost not a recruitment specialist at the Banff Center. Cliffhanger.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, but what do you mean? Like, tell me more.
Yeah. So Jo saw a promotion that she really wanted, but she almost didn't apply for it. So in this interview, we talk about what made her decide to take that chance, how she pushed through her imposter syndrome and found her confidence.
Yeah, confidence is hard, I think. And imposter syndrome is just so, I guess, rampant is the word. I think that every arts administrator struggles with it probably at some point, whether you're early career or more established in your career. And Jeremy, this happened to you too. I hope it's okay for me to say that. You almost didn't go for your current gig as music director of Aurora Symphony, but then you did, and you got it.
Yeah, I was feeling the imposter syndrome hard. I was seeing like conductors with 30 years of experience, and I was 30 years old applying for jobs around me. And so I almost didn't apply. And I got over that imposter syndrome, and I still face a little bit every time I get on the podium or work with a new marketing client. And so in this interview, we talk about how Jo faces similar things. She works with conductors and facilities managers as a recruitment specialist. So she really has to work with people in fields where she's not an expert, and that imposter syndrome is so real.
Yeah, that is so real. At some point, we are all the lesser experienced person in the room, right? Or at least we always feel that way at some point. And I think now navigating that is a skill we can learn. I really have come to believe that, but we don't want to give too much away. So let's hear it from Jo and how she dealt with all of this. I'll let you two take it away.
My name is Jo, and I work as a recruitment specialist at the Banff Center for Arts and Creativity, which is located in Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. And here I'm working as part of the recruitment team to recruit for a wide range of different positions in arts administration and other roles across the organization.
Fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about your journey as an arts admin. Could you tell us about how you first got into it, or how you were first drawn to it?
Yeah, so I first got into arts administration kind of in the first and second years of my undergrad. I started my studies as a violin performance major, but then unfortunately I had an injury pretty soon into my program and realized I needed to shift directions. And so that's when I started kind of exploring all the possibilities that there might be in arts admin. So I started looking into possible internships and what that career path might look like. And so it was kind of an exciting new direction for me to take that I wasn't necessarily expecting when I started out studying music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're kind of like athletes in that, we realize that a little injury shows how fragile we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And was there a moment that you thought that arts admin was the right path rather than just moving into a entirely different career?
Yeah, I think the first internship that I had in arts admin, it was at Music at Menlo, Chamber Music Festival and Institute in California, and they have a whole arts admin internship program. And that was really my first kind of experience working in that field. And it was really great. So I was working essentially with the team to manage the logistics for all the students in the chamber music program. And of course, I had all the hands-on experience, but I also had like seminars and kind of group sessions about kind of what are all the facets that make up an arts organization, like development and marketing and artistic planning and whatnot. And so that was sort of a really great window into that world, and kind of sparked my interest in pursuing that further.
That's great. You had a good starting foundation. I think most people find it accidentally, but you actually had like a whole program. You got to see all the different aspects and be around other people who were doing it for real.
Yeah, it was really great. There were probably about maybe a dozen or 24 of us in the intern program. So it was great to also connect with other people who were exploring this career path as well.
Fantastic. And so you probably got a lot of really good fundamentals, again, through the whole organization. What did you do after that? What was your step?
Yeah, so after that, I got interested in, I had that experience in a chamber music setting, but I really wanted to experience in a more orchestral setting to kind of see the other end of that. And so the next internship I did was at the Interlochen Center for the Arts. and I got a position as a ensemble librarian intern. And that was a very different world and a really great experience. I think that I realized that library work was not for me, a little bit too tedious and super detailed, but it was kind of also great to narrow down what I did like and what I didn't like. And so that was kind of just another point to help me direct towards what I wanted to do. And so then I realized that I wanted to work more with people and less with the notes on the page. So that was kind of my next experience that I took away from.
And then could you tell us about how you started working with Aubrey?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, I first learned about Aubrey through social media. So when I was in high school, I was in the San Francisco Symphony Youth Orchestra, and our conductor at the time was Donato Cabrera, who was also the conductor of the California Symphony. And so he, of course, worked quite closely with Aubrey. And so I found out about Aubrey because he shared a lot of her content on social media, and I thought it was really fascinating. And so I started following her, and really it was kind of the first person that I saw kind of talking openly about the arts admin side of things. I think there's obviously a lot of talk about the artists themselves and the musicians themselves, but I wasn't seeing a whole lot of content for arts administrators. And so that was really cool to see. So I really just tried to take in her content and, learn from what she had to share online. And then during the pandemic, when of course we were all, lacking connection and looking for people to connect with, I learned about her professional development course through social media, and I thought that would be a really great opportunity to kind of learn more about the possible paths within arts admin for after I finished school, and also connect with other people who were maybe in a similar position. So I was really excited to see that opportunity and spend my summer participating in those Zoom sessions.
Yeah, it's so rare that we get to connect with other arts admin that aren't working like at our organization. They're all spread around. And what about that course was a turning point from you? There's something that was covered in the course, right, that made a big impact on your life?
Yeah, definitely. Quite a few things. I think one of them being how to manage up and how to manage laterally. I think that that's very applicable to a lot of different jobs. I definitely found that was relevant to, working with conductors and guest artists, and working with people who, they want to focus on the music and you need to focus on the logistics, and, how do you get everyone to kind of work together in that way? So that was really, really useful when she was talking about that. And then I think one of the biggest takeaways for me was when she was talking about applying for jobs and also fair and equitable hiring practices. And I remember she had this Twitter thread that she had posted a while back and that she shared during the class, and it was sort of do's and don'ts for when you're applying for a job. And it was kind of one of the first times that had really been said to me about, like, this is how you apply for a job professionally, and this is what you need to do. This is how you write a cover letter, and how you focus the company that you're applying for, and not just talk about me all the time. And so I thought at the time it was very relevant because I was going to be applying for jobs soon. But kind of reflecting back on it, I also became interested in the hiring process more from the employer side as well, and just talking about things about how do you make the process fair for everyone and accessible for everyone. And that was sort of my first window into that whole world. And so it really kind of opens the door for those possibilities.
Yeah, I remember that Twitter thread as well. It was a really good one.
Yeah. And one of the things that really stuck out for me, I think, was it was a statistic about when people apply for jobs. I think it was something like white men, they will apply only if they meet, only some of the qualifications, but women and people of color will only apply if they meet 100% of the qualifications. And that was really eye-opening as well, from myself applying for jobs and also from the other end of it, looking at the applications that you're receiving. And so, just having that kind of perspective, that was probably one of the first times that was brought to my attention was during her professional development course.
Good marketing talent can be hard to find. That's why I'm so glad I discovered Marketer Hire. As my business has grown this year, I can definitively say a part of that growth was because of the way Marketer Hire helped me not just find good marketing talent I needed, but how fast they did it and how they worked to match me with the perfect people. First, I reached out about an email copywriting project and email platform migration we were going through, and Marketer Hire matched me with Jamie within a week. A few months later, we needed technical support on our Google Analytics, and they had us connected to Alec within days. Both Jamie and Alec needed zero training, were incredible to work with and experts in their respective areas, and most important, they completely delivered on time, on budget, and got the results I needed. What I like about Marketer Hire is that you can engage someone for as long or short as you want. I hired Jamie for a 3-month project, for example. On the intake call, they really listened to what I said I needed. I even said that I need someone with an interest in the performing arts. And it turned out Jamie had a theater background and is still a member of her local thespian troupe to this day. Both Jamie and Alec were able to move my projects forward so much quicker than if I had led a traditional hiring process or search. The whole thing was really easy from start to finish, and they never made me feel obligated to proceed if I didn't want to. They were even able to work with my small business budget. At your arts organization, imagine working with Fortune 500 level talent who ramps up to understand your work fast and then delivers great results. Get a $1,500 credit toward your first hire when you go to try.marketerhire.com/offstagemike. That's try.marketerhire.com/offstagemike. Whether your arts organization needs email copywriting or Google Analytics set up like I did, or if you need paid ads, paid search, or even a fractional CMO, Marketer Hire will get you set up with top talent fast. One more time, that's try.marketerhire.com/offstagemike to get started and get your $1,500 credit.
And then you said that you recently applied for a job that you felt underqualified for, and that perhaps that statistic gave you the confidence to apply for it. Could you talk about that if you're comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been working at Banff Center for Arts and Creativity, and I was previously in the office that supports the artists while they're here on campus. So I was helping with their accessibility accommodations for artists with disabilities. I was organizing their dietary restrictions, well-being initiatives, things like that. So supporting the artists while on campus. And that was a really great job. But I saw an opportunity that came up for a recruiting job. And I was really excited by it and thought, oh, I really need to go for it. And, I definitely had fears about, not being qualified enough or, not having quite the right experience that they were looking for. But I think I really had to think back to, people telling you to just go for it and not let imposter syndrome get to you. So, I finally convinced myself to apply, but it definitely wasn't just an automatic, like, oh, I'm going to apply. I really had to convince myself that I should go for it, and I'm really glad I did ultimately, because it's been a great job for me so far. But yeah, I think a lot of people might doubt their abilities sometimes, so I wanted to not let that happen to me. When you're in any job, in any sort of circumstance, or in a new graduate program or whatnot, you have to remind yourself that they picked you for a reason and that you're not like a fraud or something like that. Because I think we all know that can sometimes creep in. But I feel like I'm part of Aubrey's online community as well. Being in a community of other people who are taking risks in their careers and trying new things, I think it's really great to be a part of a community where people are talking about those things and realize that, you're not alone with, fears of taking the next step.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, the community of people like us in arts admin who are trying to apply the research, who are trying to increase our audiences, who are trying to do all these things that people in that are not a part of this community, that are not, trying to really, really grow, may poo-poo or may say, our subscribers are not going to like that if we do that, or you're rocking the boat too much. It's really great to have the community of people who are doing that along with us.
Yeah. And I think it's also really great seeing people in this online community and beyond who are just, in very different aspects of arts admin. So, there's people who are really into marketing and people who are really into development and all those things. And I think even though those aren't my areas of work, it's interesting just to hear from those people and some of the challenges that they're facing in those areas, because I think there can always be parallels across the whole organization because it all functions as one. So it's just really great to hear all those perspectives for sure.
Well, and one of the challenges you mentioned a second ago was confidence and like imposter syndrome, and I think all of us are are facing that all the time, especially when we get a new job or we take a big risk. It's like, am I ready? Am I ready for this? Do other people think I'm ready for this? What if they see that I'm not? But like everybody feels that way.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely the sort of fake it till you make it sort of saying. You have to do it in order to do it well. You have to start somewhere. So yeah.
How long have you been in your current position?
So I've been in my current position a little bit over 2 months now. So there's been a bit of a learning curve, just learning how the organization does things, feeling more confident. But I think one of the things I really like about the job is that I just get to talk to so many different people who are from so many different backgrounds, different types of jobs. I'm recruiting for roles that are supporting the arts, but arts organizations need a facilities team and a finance team and all of these things that are not necessarily arts focused. And so one of the things that's been really interesting about my job is that I've been recruiting for jobs in our facilities department and learning, okay, what does a power engineer do? And, what are they looking for? And it's been really fascinating to see into those worlds because, you need all aspects to run an organization.
And tell us how Aubrey helped you discover your why and maybe how it's evolved over time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think in Aubrey's course, that was one of the first times where I was sort of forced to have more intention with what I wanted to do with my career. I think before that, I had tried out different things, tried out different jobs, and kind of learned what I liked and what I didn't like. But I think sort of bringing that all together and having a clear why for why you're doing what you're doing can help you have more intention when you're applying for jobs in the future. And so during that course at the time, I think I figured out that my why was that I wanted to help the musicians behind the scenes with all the logistical things so that they could have a seamless performance and they could just focus on their craft and not have to worry about any of the details behind the scenes. And so I really liked that kind of just the offstage behind the scenes aspect of the work. And so but ultimately the why was all about helping the musicians succeed. And so that was kind of what I had in my mind when I was moving forward with job opportunities. And I think now that I've come to my current role in recruiting, of course, that's changed a bit. I'm not directly supporting the musicians and the artists, but I am supporting the people who support the artists. So I'm kind of another, I guess, degree of separation away from that. But I think the way that my why has evolved is that now I'm wanting to support the arts administrators and the other people who are working behind the scenes and helping them with their goals and helping them be able to support the arts organization as a whole. And I think ultimately the why is just helping people with their goals. And I think that's a big part of recruiting is, when you hire someone for a job and they're a really good fit for it, and it's a win-win situation for everyone because it aligns with their goals and their skills, and it also aligns with what the organization needs, and that's really fulfilling, and ultimately that supports the artists in the end.
I think that's a beautiful way to look at supporting other people in their goals. And you're so right. Literally you are. But then in a broader sense, you're really helping the musicians by helping the people who help the musicians, like inside the organization and the people coming into the organization. I love that insight.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to be in this position, and to kind of, you're almost like a professional matchmaker in a way, but I find it incredibly rewarding.
Yeah. You mentioned managing up earlier. Do you have a specific time when you've used that skill? Because it's one of the ones that people bring up all the time from the Uplevel course and other professional development courses, is how to manage up or how to manage laterally. So do you have any specific examples of how you've used that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I can give you 2 examples that I'd say are pretty parallel. So the first one I mentioned a little bit before was working with conductors. When you're in an arts admin role, and you're trying to get the details done, and you need to get programs printed and all those things, and you need details from conductors, and perhaps they're more about the bigger vision and about the art, and that's really great, but you have to work together with them so you can both meet your goals. And so I think managing up and managing laterally is something that I really, you have to be able to do in those situations in order so that everyone sort of meets their goals, and that the whole finished product can come together. And I think in my current job, I'm finding a lot of parallels to working with hiring managers, because I'm hiring for many different departments, and every department has their own kind of personality. Different hiring managers have different habits and whatnot. And so just kind of learning how to work with so many different people. And, perhaps some people you need to nudge a little bit more to get information, and some people are more on the ball with things and more communicative. So just learning everyone's communication style, and learning how to interact with all those different components, and balancing that. So I think to bring it back to your question about managing up and the course that Aubrey taught, I think that was a really, really useful topic to cover, because, I can think of these examples in my own professional life, but I'm sure that there's so many other roles out there where it's the same thing, and you need to work together with people who are perhaps at a more senior level than you, and you have to, manage up towards them.
Yeah, and you're right. You're managing you're working with a lot of people in a lot of different fields where you're not the expert, like in the facilities department.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, making sure that you listen to them for their expertise and recognizing your limitations in that way, but then also making sure that you're keeping the hiring process the same across all the departments, so it's kind of consistent for the whole organization. I think that that's a really important part.
There's a balance, it sounds like, of managing their expertise and then also managing your own expertise and your own responsibilities. That's tough. I'd like to take a second to apologize to everybody who's ever tried to email a conductor and get an answer for how long it takes us to get back to you. I just want to put that out there and apologize for everybody.
Yeah, I meant no bad feelings toward conductors. We love the conductors. They bring the life to the music. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, Joe, you're at the beginning of a really great career. I can tell you're really devoted to what you do and to making a big difference. I'm so happy to have you in our arts admin workforce. What advice would you give to people starting their career, or maybe trying to figure out what they want to do or what their impact is?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say take the opportunity when you're just starting out to try lots of different things, and not just different types of jobs, but also different organizations if you can, because every organization has its own culture and, different ways that they do things. And so I think really exposing yourself to different workplaces and different types of jobs while you're still starting out, and it's more acceptable to job hop, if you will, and just explore all the options, and that can help kind of narrow down and figure out what it is you like doing and what it is you don't like doing.
And also be sure to join the Changing the Narrative community.
Yeah, absolutely. If Aubrey has any professional development courses or webinars or anything like that, that's a really great way to also see what's out there. And I guess part 2 of my answer would be to connect with other arts administrators, of course, within your own organization, but from others as well. Learning from other people and other organizations is super valuable.
Fantastic. And Joe, how can people connect with you after this interview?
Yeah, so I'm active on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn link is just Joe-Griffin. So you can find me on there. And I would love to connect and learn about your career and what you're doing in arts admin.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
There is a lot you were never taught about navigating a career in arts management. Nobody taught you how to land an administrative role, ask for a promotion, how to have confidence in job interviews, how to properly sell and brand yourself, how to get buy-in for your ideas, how to manage up to a boss or a board, or how to motivate the best performance in others on your team. That all changes starting October 17th. Join me, Aubrey Bergauer, for a new free live virtual event where you will learn the things that are holding you back and equip yourself to take your career in arts management to the next level, no matter where you're at right now, from student to long-timer in the field to being an artist with an interest in administration. It's called They Never Taught You That, a 3-part virtual training on how to grow your career in arts management, and it all starts very soon, completely free. But you do need to save your seat. Register now at www.aubreybergauer.com/how-to-grow-your-career. You can't win a game if you don't know the rules, right? So go to aubreybergauer.com/how-to-grow-your-career and we'll change that together. Can't wait to see you there. The Offstage Mic is produced by me, Aubrey Bergauer, and Aaron Allen. The show is edited by Novo Music, an audio production company of all women audio engineers and musicians. Our theme music is by Alex Grohl. Additional podcast support this season comes from Jeremy Cuevas, Kelly Stedman, other members of the Changing the Narrative team, and social media brand management by Classical Content. This is a production of Changing the Narrative.
And we're back. Today on Top Tunes, the music production...
Is it just me, or does this sound terrible?
Wait, I think I heard of someone who might be able to help us. There's this company called Novo Music. They provide across-the-board audio solutions, from recording repair to audio editing to original music and sound design and beyond.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Today on Top Tunes, the music...
Now that's better.
Novo Music, conducting your creative vision. Find out more at novomusic.co.